Okay, so I just watched both the trailers for Black Phone 2, and it doesn't look horrible, but I'm a bit concerned, to be honest. And the primary reasoning for that is just that with the first Black Phone movie, with the way that it ended and stuff, it really just didn't feel like there needed a sequel, or that like there was even like room left for one. This kind of just feels like the tale old as time, where like super rich companies will make a successful movie that wasn't intended for a sequel but does really good, so then they make a sequel in order for just to get more money, and then that sequel like doesn't really make up with the story or just isn't as good, and it's just a cash grab. And I'm not necessarily saying that's what this is, but that's kind of what it feels like, just considering how well like the first story ended and how it really didn't feel like we needed a second movie, at least in my personal opinion. I will give the team behind Black Phone 2 and Universal Pictures some credit though. Both of these two trailers were very strong and made me very intrigued and very interested in the movie, and it actually did help restore some faith that this might actually be a decent movie and not just some cash grab. I just want to take a second to talk about the cinematography in both of these shots, in both of these trailers. Just looking at the shots, so many of them are absolutely beautiful. I'm talking gorgeous. And good cinematography is something that's in a lot of movies nowadays, so a lot of people kind of just brush over it and kind of ignore it, but I do always like to highlight that because I'm in film myself, and it's just something I like to see in movies. And I do think cinematography can play a big role in elevating a film. Like, I think cinematography can take what would be, especially in horror, like what would be like a basic, not super scary movie, to like a really strong piece that unnerves you as you watch it. And that was another thing in these two trailers. It seems like there's definitely going to be a stronger supernatural element in Black Phone going forward, which I'm not sure exactly how I feel about. I feel like if they execute it well, it can make it a lot more interesting, and it can be something that's extremely cool and unique to the series. But there's also a chance they do it in a really shitty and really bad way and it ruins the IP. It's kind of hard to judge which it will actually be until the movie comes out and we can see it in its entirety. We're just judging off of trailers and teasers right now. I'm not gonna lie though, the second trailer does have me a little bit worried. Like, maybe this is just me having an L take and an L opinion on this, but when watching the second trailer, when they show some of the supernatural elements, where it's like the characters being attacked by someone invisible, being like kind of like choked and thrown around, and it's like obviously they can see them, but like the other characters, when they're in the room, they just see like nothing. Like, they see the character being thrown around like into walls and being choked and stuff, but they can't see what's doing it. But for me, when they show that, like, even with the music and the sound effects that kind of try to make it more like suspenseful, I feel like it just looks kind of goofy. I don't know, maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just holding it to too high of standards, because the first Black Phone I felt was really strong and pretty scary compared to modern horror films. But I feel like this just kind of doesn't really hold up to the like kind of unnervingness and like actual true, like, I don't know, fear, I guess, the first one invoking you, because feels kind of like just like cheap thriller almost, kind of. But I don't know, like I said, this could be too early to judge. This still has room to be really good. It's just, like I said before, a little bit concerning. Also, those scenes where they have her like spinning out of bed, like, am I bugging, or does this just look kind of like goofy to me? I don't know. Like obviously if this were to be happening to you or to like one of your loved ones or some shit, this would be terrifying. But like looking at this from like as a viewer in like a movie, I don't know, this shit is kind of like, I don't know. Maybe this is just me having a bad opinion. But it's coming out on the 17th, so I plan on watching it soon after it comes out, so I'll make a review and discuss if it does end up just being a cheap cash grab sequel that's not very good, or if it's actually something decent, or maybe even better than the original. I don't think there's much of a chance of that, but it's always possible. So that's basically it. Have a good day.